Let us now welcome the OSM Foundation Board for their Ask Me Anything session. May we call on stage Brazil Singh, Laura Mugeha, Héctor Ochoa Ortiz, Craig Allan, and Danny Walterstofer Jimenez. Their session will be moderated by Eric Tamba from Tanzania.
Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, it's really amazing. I have mixed feelings. I am sad, but also happy. The reason that I'm sad is like we're nearly done with the conference, but I'm happy because I get time to explore Manila. So just short remarks, Manila has been amazing. Let's put a hand of applause to Manila. All right, so the session is actually very easy and engaging. The title is Ask Me Anything, right? Now, let's do a little bit of practice, right? You just have to face your neighbor. Before we ask the board, let's do it like a little bit of practice. Just ask your neighbor anything for just 30 seconds, anything. You can come and ask me, Asa, please. So look at your neighbor and ask him or her anything right now, just for 30 seconds. All right, so I was asked that, what did I enjoy about this state of the map? It's obvious, the social event. Who is with me? The board, did you enjoy the social event? Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so thank you everyone for being here. Now, let's start with something interesting. I know some of you know people who are right here, some are new to you. Maybe you've seen them on emails or somewhere where they were trying to ask for votes. Yeah. Yeah, so just 30 seconds, you introduce yourself and in the board, like what do you do or what part do you play in the board? So, yeah, you can go.
Me? I'm Danny Waltersdorfer Jimenez, and I'm from Lima, Peru, but I reside in the United States, and I'm the secretary of the board.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Mugeha. I am based in Nairobi, in Kenya. On the board, I serve a couple of roles. I am the representative for the open source initiative, but I'm also the liaison for the membership working group, the local chapters and communities working group, and the State of the Map committee. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Craig Allan. I've been on the board for a while now. I started off as a regular member, not knowing anything for a long time. As I learned stuff, I was appointed to being secretary, and I knew that stuff, and then I eventually ended up as the chair, and now I'm the chair. And I come from Durban, South Africa, in Africa, of course. And my favorite mapping is the bush in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So there we go, that's me.
So, hi everyone, I'm Héctor. I'm from Spain. I've been a mapper for 14 years, it's a long time. And I've been part of the board since last year. And yes, I'm a deputy secretary, and I recently became as well the liaison for the operations working group and for the personnel committee. So yeah, that's me.
Hi everyone, I am Brazil Singh, and I am from Bangladesh, and I am newly appointed director for the board. And basically, I recently joined as a liaison, backup liaison for the LCCWG and the communication working group. And my favorite mapping is, I basically do fix the existing errors in the maps. That's it. Thank you.
Hang on to it.
All right. So as a moderator, I'm tasked to like see what you guys have to ask the board, right? And I know you might have some questions. So anyone, you can start asking the board right away. Just raise up your hand, and the mic will come to you. So any question for the board? Yeah. It's always Anneli. Okay.
Hello, hello. I know you've been working hard in the OSMF board, and all your work has been really on the background. So once again, let's give a round of applause to the OSMF board, please. So my question would be, you're like a mix, diverse. Some like have previous board. This has been in the board for a while. Some are very new. So my question would be for those who are have had 2 years in the board. Like, how is it been for you? If you have any, what do you think? Could you offer more to improve in the OSM Foundation? And for those new, maybe for Laura, Héctor, and Brazil, like what are you looking forward to improve in the OpenStreetMap or continue? So.
Okay. Who's taking? Me.
Yeah, so this starts with those who are like, have been serving for the board for the past 2. Yeah, so I think it goes to you.
I'm one of the longest serving members of the board. I originally got on the board because I used to sit and watch the previous board do things, and I thought, we could do better than that. So I got on the board and I found out how difficult it was to do things better than that. But what I did was I worked very hard on planning, which was good, and I worked on finances, which is not so good. And we are now going to concentrate in the next year. We're really going to work on the planning and on raising funds. We plan to talk to all our corporate sponsors and donors and talk to a whole lot more people because we want to make the board able to afford a couple more paid staff. So coming from my original position, I think I'm finally getting to a position where I can say we can make the board financially more viable. So that's my aim. Someone else?
Yeah, let's give it to the new guys. What are you expecting to improve?
From Brazil, or, yeah.
Okay, so from the last year I worked with Arnali for the OSMF membership drive. So for the next year, I want to work with the LCCWG to like start the membership drive again. And I also saw that for the election there are less participants. So we want to improve and increase more members for the board. That's it from my side.
Yeah. Anyone who has an addition to those 2?
I guess for me, what I'd add is I'd like to see the board supporting communities a little bit more. I think we're already seeing that, especially this year with the engineering working group opening up a call for microgrants. And yes, we did get some requests for community organizing as well, because as you always say, the community creates and owns the map. I think at the moment while the board has done a lot in terms of maintaining the infrastructure and making sure that we are mapping and the map is always on there for the 3 days except for the 3 days in 2024, I think there could be more we could do in terms of supporting the community to continue creating, to continue maintaining,
Thank you. Yeah, there are a lot of questions. Can we have a mic to us? Asa.
I see so many new people here today and in the conference, so I assume there are so many new contributors to OpenStreetMap. And I realize that many people that contribute don't really know much about the foundation itself or don't even know that there is a board of directors leading the foundation. My question for you today is, can you please share why the board is so important for the OpenStreetMap project and what does the board do specifically?
All right. What does the board do?
So yeah, basically the board tries to do fundraising for a project. And let's first start about what is the foundation. What is the foundation doing? So we run the OpenStreetMap servers. We maintain the website, maintain the ID editor, all the core software that is behind OSM. We also help organize the State of the Map conference that we are all in here, organized by the State of the Map Organizing Committee Working Group. We also maintain the license if there's any issue with the license, vandalism, the data working group. And as a board, we are there supporting all the different working groups that work within the foundation. We are doing fundraising, and we're also distributing the funds to the different working groups depending on their needs, doing the budget. And yeah, that's, I don't know if you want to add something else. Yeah.
We have an addition here.
Sorry. So I think it's important to really reiterate that even though, yes, we are the faces representing the foundation, we never tell the community how to run the project, how to map, what to map, where to do it. We also don't dictate working groups, nor should you ever hear any of us dictating you what to do. We are here to help you, represent you, so it should be the other way around. If you have a request, reach out to us. Same with, who here is in a working group?
Anyone?
Okay, join more, okay, we need more. Who here is aware of the working groups? You are aware of them. What's preventing you from joining one?
Yeah. Michael, which group are you in, the working groups?
I'm not joined any, but I'm here to join.
So what prevented you from joining any working group?
Yeah, so I wanted to start that because the working groups are essentially the foundation of the foundation. You help everything run, right? Héctor mentioned some of the working groups we have. The State of the Map Planning Working Group, because of them, you're all here. And it's an incredible job that takes a year of planning and volunteer, more than a year actually, because you have to bid for it. We have a communications working group. I'm the liaison for the communications working group, and we want to enhance the way we, I don't like the word market, but essentially market the OpenStreetMap project and the foundation. So we need everyone's help. If you use clearly OSM, you benefit from the data, you contribute to mapping, we also need your help. And we essentially are just the faces to help represent you. And that's another reason why the foundation exists and why you should, if you're able to, join the foundation so that you can then choose the faces that represent you so that we all don't look the same.
All right. Thank you so much for the clarification on what the board does. And I think you've mentioned some of the working groups, and it's a challenge for us to now take action. They are really, you can find them in the OSM wiki, reach out to the leads and know how to participate in their meetings. Yeah, so any other question from the audience, please, for the board? Any other question that you have? Just raise up your hand. Do we have questions from venueless? Yeah, we have.
Hello. I'm interested to know a little bit about what's the decision-making process among the board. Meaning, if you're applying, for example, for a grant, and you don't really agree all together about the donor or the funder, their values, how it aligns with the foundation values, and you have a conflict among each others. How do you facilitate those conflicts and make that decision?
Well, we have a secret meeting. I'm serious. We really do. There's one public meeting of the board every month. Last Thursday of the month, you're all welcome to come and sit and watch us discuss exciting things like finances and organization. And then every second Thursday of the month, we have a closed meeting just among us, and that is where we deal with our disagreements, not face to face, virtual to virtual. And we also have a lot of chat groups. We communicate on chat a lot, text, which keeps going all day, depending on your time zone. And we negotiate a lot of stuff there. So the main thing that's very important is that people have a very positive attitude. The board at the moment is full of people who are very dedicated to OpenStreetMap. We're very positive about it, and personalities don't seem to be a big factor. So if we have a disagreement, we can respectfully discuss with each other and find out who's saying what and who's not saying. So in the end, it comes down to a vote. The votes are done publicly. We discuss privately, and all the votes are in the public meeting, or sometimes we take urgent meetings on a voting app, Lumio, but we will report that on the public meeting. So in general, we do have disagreements. We've had some serious disagreements over times, but they've always been resolved because people are very positive, and the kind of people we get as volunteers here in the board are just great people. I love them all. So that's the simple. It's done with love.
Thank you so much. Again, I know like there are shy people or introverts. You can still ask a question via the venue list. So just to ask one, it says, question for every board member. Being a board member takes a lot of time and effort. Why are you on the board, and what made you apply? Starting from the one, yeah.
Hello. Yeah. All right. So basically, if I say that I followed the election from past years, and I saw that there are less representation from Asia. So, yeah. Okay. So there are less representation from Asia. So I was like, why people are not coming from Asia to the board? Why they are not making any decision to the board? That's why, like, I tried 2 times. First time, because from the Asia there are less members on the board because they didn't take the membership. And if you don't take the membership, you will not be able to vote for your own people. So that was my first step. And yeah, I love OSM, so that's why I wanted to join the board, and I wanted to contribute my time to the board, and I wanted to enhance the board participation. That's why I joined.
Thanks. So in my case, I've been a mapper for so many years, and I started being more and more involved in events and other stuff beyond mapping. And back last year, instead of the Map EU, I got to know that there were elections coming up. And I was like, hey, why not put myself forward and run for the elections? And I won, right? So that's why I'm here. And the reason that I put myself forward is that I wanted to do something more, not only mapping, so helping out in other ways. And the other big reason is that I could as well, because my current job is very flexible in time, and it takes a lot of time to be a board member. We are volunteers, we are not get paid for this, so we need to have time to do it. And fortunately, my job is very flexible with that, so I can give a lot of time for the foundation, which really fills me up. So yeah, that's a good reason.
Time was also a thing for me. I sort of lurked on all the groups watching these decisions happening and watching the monthly meetings happening, and I was just there very quietly. So I sort of reached out eventually, because I'm one of the shy people, and I joined the microgrants group, which happened in about 2020 or something like that. And these were all nice people, they were great to work with. So I got a bit more enthusiastic about it. So when the board elections came around, I thought, well, there's no one here from Africa. I'm from Africa, let's represent a minority, and now we've got 2 of us. And I thought I could do stuff because I've got work experience in strategic planning and budgeting and things like that. And I'm retired, so I have a lot of time. So those were the things that drove me to the board. My background in town planning, which is my profession, is just all about maps. Everything we do is in maps. So I was such a mappy person just to start with. And after 10 years of mapping quietly in the background, I thought it's time that I did something to really help and to give back. So that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, I think we all have similar, I guess, experiences or motivations, but I think it's also the same thing for me. At some point I started attending the public board meetings and I was curious about the foundation and everything, but I didn't really have the push to ever apply or to basically stand for elections. And then Annalie, who was at the, had just joined the board. For every year she was at the board, she reached out to me and asked me to join in. And last year it's when I tried. But I guess the push also in terms of what I had is that I felt that from the experiences that I'd had in terms of organizing at a local level, supporting at a regional level for OSM Africa, I felt like those are experiences that I could bring in at the board level, but also I also loved the challenges that the board was trying to solve, or some of the challenges we're seeing at the global level. I was like, why isn't this solved, and what can I do? And it looks like I can do something. So I'd say that was the general push, and also maybe what keeps me going that I've not left yet. So yeah.
So I have been very active with the United States chapter. I was on the board of the US chapter, and I was a representative for that chapter with foundation board meetings. And that's when I first started learning more about the foundation and the foundation's board. I wanted to do a little more beyond the US chapter, and I had a couple of people reach out to me, Arnelli included, again. And I wanted to focus on more community building, reaching out to communities that may not be as represented. And I figured, even though I'm Latina, I don't live in Latin America right now, but through the foundation, I can also provide some aid in some way or some representation. And it's awesome. Like last year, I was able to go to State of the Map Latin America, and it was the first time someone from the board ever made an appearance there. They didn't know about the board. They didn't know about the foundation. It was very eye-opening from both ends. And it's important, again, that's why we need representation and diversity. This year, Héctor was able to go, and it was also eye-opening for him. It was eye-opening for other people that attended for the first time an event in the region. And also fundraising. I did a lot of fundraising for the US, and I want to be able to do that here also.
All right. Let's clap the hands for Annelie. I think she inspired many in the board. Yeah, keep doing amazing work, Annelie. So, yeah, in the venue list, I have one interesting question. And when it comes to funds, I'm always interested. It says, beside funding, what are the biggest challenges of the OSM Foundation right now? But I would also add to something new, the Sovereign Tech Fund, which myself I'm not aware of. So I would love someone to explain that, and then someone will take, beside the funding, what's other challenges that the foundation is facing. So can you start with the Sovereign Tech Fund?
Yes. So I still think that funding is one of the main issues, but I can talk about the Sovereign Tech Fund because I'm directly related with that. So we got some money, a huge amount of money from the Sovereign Tech Agency, that is from the German government. And with that money, we've been able to hire some people. So, Min, I don't know if you're here somewhere. Min, yeah.
Can we see you?
So
Just raise up your hand.
Raise your hand. So basically with this money, so the goal is to keep OSM core infrastructure, database, API, website, running for the future. Because every time we keep on having more users, more data, it keeps on growing and growing, and we need to keep it stable. So in this case, Min is doing the facilitator role. He's developing the roadmap for the next few years. Now, a week ago, we also hired a developer for the core software to then implement those things that are missing in the roadmap, and we'll still have some more money left from this pot of money to hire some more developers for small fixes here and there that are needed to keep the project running in a more technical side. Yes.
Thank you so much. Beside funding, what are other challenges that the foundation is facing right now?
Some of the challenges we face, which are not funding, are the donations in kind. We have huge donations in kind. For example, our servers, the rack space and the bandwidth is donated. Our content delivery system, which buffers the servers from you so that we can handle more data, is donated. The aerial photographs that you map from are donated by several different organizations. We have, who else is it? Yeah. If any of those decide that they don't want to continue to support us, we have a serious crisis. So the in-kind donations are a huge thing. There's no money involved. But, for example, Esri provides us with a layer of photographs. They could say tomorrow, we're not going to do it anymore. And we nearly had that with Microsoft. We had to negotiate with Microsoft recently to keep the layer of photographs going. And they are a core part of our business. So it's those sort of things that help, that really help, that are not financial, that are a big problem. And the other side of it is, of course, maps would only happen if people are working on it. So the human side of it, encouraging people to map, supporting organizations like HOT, we work well, we don't fight, working with youth mappers, working with all the mapping organizations. That is not financial, but that's a very important part of the work of the foundation itself through the LCC working group. So those are two things I can think of that are very important. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think we've heard that open source is free, but running it is costful, yeah? So we need to keep on supporting the foundation and the OSM, community as well. So any other challenge that, Laura, can you have another challenge? Okay. Any question from the audience? Any other question? Yep, we have a hand there.
All right. Hello. So I'm Den from USTP Youth Mappers. My question is with regards to the membership. So I was a member of the OpenStreetMap Foundation last 2022 or 2023, I think, through the active contributor membership program. So I was an active mapper back then, and I satisfied the 42 mapping days for that year. And then the year after that, I applied again, I reapplied for the active contributor membership, but this time it was for the non-mapping volunteer contributor membership program. Because from mapping, I shifted to other mapping advocacies, like I train students and I do community outreach and doing mapathons, organizing conferences. So I was declined during that year because it was not explicitly stated in the website what criteria for the non-mapping contributor program is there. So are there any criteria or qualifications for the active contributor membership program, but for the non-mapping volunteer contributions?
Yeah, so if you go to, is it there? Yeah, if you go to the link there, or also the QR code that we had at the desk, you'll basically see that there are two ways to join the foundation, as you've mentioned. Under the active contributor program, yes, you do need to meet the 42 days, but if not, and probably more of your contribution is either through development or community organizing, there's a different form that you can fill. But I guess what we see with some of the applications is that people do not explain the contributions. So you have to basically write a few sentences saying, yes, I'm the president of a Youth Mappers chapter, and I organize these trainings, and this is the chapter itself, and add any necessary links. And then the board will get it as a circular done by the amazing Dorothea, and then we vote on it. So yeah, if you go to the link, there's a separate link for it to fill, and yeah, the key thing is just to add all the information.
just to say that we get quite a few active contributor non-mapper applications, and we are very supportive of everyone who works to support the OSM community in a non-mapping way. But if you do apply, please give us details of what you do, because if you send in your name in a blank application, we are forced to turn it down because we don't have the right information. So that's the main reason for turning them down is people don't fill out the form properly. So please fill it out properly. We'd love to have you as a member.
All right. Any other question? Yeah. Please.
Yeah. So there was an outage in December 2024. How confident is OSM in dealing with future similar outages?
Oh, the ISP.
What was the question?
It's on the outside.
So, sorry, can you, did you get the question?
I can.
Okay.
So yeah, the outage that was caused last year, it was because of our internet service provider. It was not directly our fault, but it was kind of our fault for not having some fallback in case some provider failed. We've now fixed that. We have now 2 internet services providers, so in case there's an issue with one, we can fall back to a second one. And we're constantly trying to see some issues that may come in the future, and we're trying to prevent them before they happen. So if you do find some possible way that some attack could happen, please tell us so we know and we can investigate on that and create prevention measures before they happen. And although in this case it was not an attack, but if you know a way to improve our services, to improve our server, please do. We are really happy to improve them.
Thank you so much, Héctor. I'm one of those who were affected with that shutdown last year because I had a plan to map 365 days. So I didn't. I felt I was 2 days short. So yeah, I have one question from Venules. It's voted with 3 people. They're saying, with the increase of geopolitics tension, how do you see OSM's role and its survival? Geopolitics tensions.
We don't get involved.
That's straight.
We don't get involved.
All right. Is there any follow-up question with that if you're in the room? Yeah.
Mine was a follow-up on what he asked. We all remember that Maxa pulled out, yes? And Bing was almost pulling out. So what plan does the foundation have in case this in-kind support from other organizations decide to pull out, all of them?
What's our plan?
Yeah, what's the plan of, in case? Okay.
So at the moment, it's been a big topic for us this year, especially with the Bing outage as well. So at the moment, what we have done, it's still work in progress, is that we are identifying other providers. But also another thing that came up is also if we are able to but get much more funding, probably we can also enter into commercial relationships as opposed to in-kind donations. So at the moment, it's trying to find more providers so that we always have things to fall back on, but also looking if we can raise more to enter into commercial relationships so that we are not cut off at any time. And also exploring new things like drone imagery and those kinds of things, and how maybe communities can now also own their own imagery that they can use for mapping.
Can I just add to that? I think that the work being done at the moment with drone photography, for example, helps us to be a little bit more resilient against the loss of aerial imagery. I think that this organization should really work very hard at getting the drone imagery stuff up and running as part of the organization, not isolated instances here and there, but to actually have it as a thread that we need to fund and train people and just put that in so that we can get really good local photography, which it doesn't depend on the big providers.
All right.
Can I add something?
Okay, sure.
Also, we have people from around the world here. If you think that perhaps an organization in your country, a university, an educational institution can help us in any way, but you don't know how to start the conversation, reach out to us. We can do it. We've done it. We've done it with certain universities around the world. So if you have an idea, don't be scared, reach out to us. And we always need those donations, right? We're a nonprofit. So the more, the merrier.
Thank you so much. Who in here had knew that the foundation was planning to move to the EU? Raise up your hand. Oh, 2. So I think those are the ones who are asking.
Can you repeat it? Can you repeat the question?
The question, who here knew that the foundation had plans to move to the EU? So we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so they are asking, where are we in that process?
We are planning on moving to the EU. It's not a secret. Now everyone knows. We are currently in the UK. Our address, if you look us up, I don't know if it's on the there, but we're in Cambridge, and we're looking to move everything. We've done all the research. We have selected Belgium, and we're currently doing some additional research so that we can contact the correct legal representatives so they can provide us all the feedback and necessary legal help that we can get. No, none of us here are legal people. We have a legal working group who is amazing. I want to give a shout out to Kathleen if she's listening. She's been helping us a lot. So we just need to push forward that, have those meetings with a law firm. That's the word I was looking for. With a law firm so they can guide us better. And ideally a law firm that understands we're a nonprofit and has worked with nonprofit organizations before.
Yeah, one of the big things that the membership, those of you who are members, will do would be to approve the constitution of the new organizations we are going to set up in Belgium. The English organization currently has a constitution called an Articles of Association, which has been in place for the length of the foundation's existence when we set this board up in the first place. When we're setting up a new organization, we can't just take the English one and relocate it. We have to set up a new one in Belgium. We have already got a draft copy of the Articles of Association, which will become the constitution of the Belgian organization, and that is actually already up on the web on our wiki. We'll do a drive to get everyone who's a member to comment on it, to make sure that it is to everyone's agreement, and that will then go forward as the constitution of the Belgian organization. We will then set up a small version of just a shell company in Belgium with a few directors, probably drawn from these directors that we have now. And then we'll start moving the assets of the English company across to the Belgian company, which should be a fairly simple, transparent process, we hope, which is what the lawyers are all about. We also need lawyers in Belgium. There will be money associated with that, so we've set money aside for the English legal fees and the Belgian legal fees and the cost of building the association in Belgium. And what no one has mentioned, why are we doing this, is because the data protection laws in EU are way better than they are in England, and this organization is about data. Everything we've got is data. So we're doing the best we can to minimize risk, protect our data by moving it into the safer area of the EU. Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Do we have a question from the audience? Let's keep the questions really short and direct because we are kind of out of time. So yeah.
I have one question, sir. So we are all diverse people gathering here and with a different skill set and expertise we bring to the table. So does OSMF have a program to utilize that skill set and identify the people who could contribute to OSMF and to keep the innovation and our current platform up and running? So do you conduct any hackathons and to bring in new ideas to the current OSM?
Yeah, so depending on your skill sets, we have different working groups that may fit your skill set, right? So we have communications working group. If you're good at social media posting, graphic design, writing, then you can join the communications working group. We have the licensing working group, which if you're a lawyer or you know legal, then you can join it. We have operations who run the servers. So if you know about server management, you can join it. We have engineering working group who works for software development in the OSM ecosystem. So if you know about engineering, you can join it. We have data who work with vandalism. So vandalism, conflict resolution, if you have those skills, come join the data working group. We have the State of the Map Organizing Committee. So if you have organized an event, then you may want to join the group. LCCWG, Locals, Chapters and Communities Working Group. So if you're a community manager, community you have community engagement, you can join the group. Am I missing some more?
Thank you.
Yeah. So basically the idea is there is a group that matches your skill set. We have all the groups on the OSMF Foundation, so osmfoundation.org. You go to working groups and you can find the one that suits you the best. The way to join the group is usually by sending an email saying that you want to join the meetings. Every group has regular meetings, usually every couple of weeks. And you are welcome to join. Most of the meetings are public, so just come join. Tell them that you're interested in it. And if you join and you keep on joining for a couple of meetings and you think you like it, then you can become a full member and help the foundation this way. Yeah.
I fully didn't hear everything, but I heard you mentioning hackathons. And I just wanted to add that also some of the working groups or the projects would participate in things like Google Summer of Code that happens every year. So if your country is eligible, you could participate. You could probably talk to Martin. I think he had an intern last year for the ID editor under Google Summer of Code. But also, if you see things that are interesting, I don't think the OSM community does Hacktoberfest, which I guess should be happening this month. Those are things that if you join the EWG, you can sort of suggest it and sort of lead it, push for it as well. Yeah.
Super fast. Also, if there's a specific project that you would like to share with the community, you can also take advantage of our board meetings. We love to have guests. So if you want to share something, we can help you communicate it that way. Something that we would also like to do, and we got started with it last weekend actually, maybe some of you attended, our operations working group, Grant Slater from our operations working group did a little webinar on what the operations working group is, what it does, how it works, and then he encouraged people to join. We had about 34 attendees at some point, and that's something we want to see if we can do with other working groups so that the entire community understands what each working group does and how they can get involved.
Thank you. There is a question that has a lot of votes. I don't have convicted with this one. It says, do you think Overture Maps will be a competitor for commercial actors' contributions? This is mapping or data, because they are also offering free data sets and claim it's easier to work with. Overture Maps. Do you? Yeah.
Are they a competitor or a cooperative?
I don't see them as a competitor.
You want to add?
Overture Maps uses a vast amount of our data. So in fact, they are cooperating with us. We've talked to them one-on-one on calls. We've discussed with them. They are fully aware that they depend on us for what they've got. What we see them is that they are an attempt by some big suppliers to provide what OpenStreetMap does not provide, which is up-to-date data, correct data. The sort of quality control that they need as corporate providers is more than we actually provide. So I fully sympathize with them that they are trying to do this thing as best they can, spending a huge amount of money on it, and underneath it all is sitting OSM data. So they're not competing with us in any way. They are, in fact, depending on us.
Awesome. Yeah, can we have the question there?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, my question is around scholarships to State of the Map. We all know like scholarships really help to bring people to the conference who otherwise wouldn't have been able to come to such conferences. But I think previously, I think before 2018 and the back, the State of the Map scholarship used to be like fully funded, like full flights and full accommodation. But I think of recent scholarships kind of, yeah, like they give you a refund after coming to the conference. And I know that's like a challenge to people from some countries. I've been in touch with people who are like, you know, reaching out to their relatives to borrow them money, you know, trying to find all means to get to the conference, and they're failing to do so. So I think my question is like, yeah, is the foundation aware of this challenge, and are there any plans to maybe switch back to the previous format where scholarships are really what they're meant for, like for people who can't afford to pay a flight ticket to come to the conference? Thank you.
The question, if I understand it, is really, have we got enough money to pay for full scholarships to State of the Map conferences? And that applies both to regional and to this international global one. No, we run the whole foundation on about £1 million per year, which includes salaries for our staff and for contractors, and that uses up most of the money. So we have a small amount that we do donate to State of the Map to pay for scholarships. It's not enough. It's never enough, and I'm sorry about that. I come from a relatively poor country myself, and to be honest, I cannot afford to attend the State of the Map USA because their entrance fees are too high. You know, it's relative. Africa particularly has a real problem in getting to a regional conference, even if it's in Africa. The place is so big. So while I would like to provide a lot more funds, our main thing to do is to try and get the foundation's funding lifted, to try and improve our funding. And as that happens, we will be able to give more and more funding for scholarships to the various State of the Maps. We do encourage the State of the Maps to do fundraising for themselves, but the fundraising pool is small, and we tend to rely on the same companies all the time, and those companies themselves have limited funds to distribute around the world. So our heart is that we would like many more full 100% scholarships to happen, but it's not going to happen. We do what we can, and that's the best we can do. Anyone else?
Thank you so much. I will take only one last question. I know there's a lot of questions in the venue list, and feel free to like connect after this panel with any board member for these questions. So from the audience, one last question. There's no question? Okay, yeah.
No more.
Hi there. I wanted to ask you about your thoughts regarding local chapters. Local chapters are obviously important, and we want to reach out to people everywhere and so on and so on. On the other hand, I think that the OSMF itself competes with local chapters in some areas. For example, for attention, for funding. Some local chapters have more money than the OSMF itself. Maybe the OSMF even competes for employees. So there is a potential for some friction there, yes. And I would like to hear from you whether, if you have any thoughts on this, and if yes, what they are.
Anyone?
We're talking about the U.S. We're talking about the U.S. We're talking about the U.S., right? Yes. Okay. So I will give an example. I was on the board for the U.S. I worked a lot with OpenStreetMap US. I was a very active member of OpenStreetMap US. And something that I talked with a couple of people here maybe 2 days ago was the financial situation, even like where in Peru, like let's say I wanted to do an open State of the Map, equivalent State of the Map US in Peru, it would fail because people wouldn't pay that amount it would be insulting to ask them to pay that. something that, for instance, a way they're raising money, and it's admirable that they're doing it, and they are raising money that way, and it's great. They sell socks at the conference for like about $20. I would hate myself if I come here and say, buy some OpenStreetMap socks for $20. It would be insulting. We can't do that. So the way to fundraise is very different. We represent the global community. We need to do more research on how to do it. I'm not saying the way they're doing it is wrong. It works there. Good for them. We can't do that here. I wish we could go everywhere and ask for $20 for socks. We can't do that. Then as competing, I personally don't think we're competing. They benefit from us, right? Every chapter, every local chapter, we benefit from them as a foundation, and they benefit from us because, again, we help keep the servers running. If there's no foundation, there's no OpenStreetMap project, and we would all cry. It would be really sad. I don't think we're competing. I think we need to figure out a way to fundraise better as a way to be able and understand that, yes, maybe we should be fundraising more in the US as a foundation. If the US has money, maybe we should be doing more in the US. And we should not be asking the same, all in all, we shouldn't be asking the same for every region because it's not the same. Every region is different and we have to be mindful of that. I think that's it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so this is the last question from me. It's obvious that it has been years. Hotel have been celebrating 15 years, yeah? So where do you see the OSM Foundation and its work in the next 5 years? I'll just give 5 years. So in 30 seconds, all the way there.
Everyone in 20 seconds?
30 seconds each.
30 okay. I want no more bullying. There has been bullying in the past. There has been sexism in the past. And in the future, I want the OSM Foundation and the board and the community to be a safe space for everyone. That's outside of funding, fundraising, and whatever. It has to be a safe space for everyone.
For me, I'd say sustainability in the long term in terms of supporting the project and the community.
For me, the technical side of it is being addressed now by the big contribution we've got from the German government on their contract there, which Min is implementing. I'd like to see a lot more of that. We need to catch up on our technical debt from over the last few years to get the software modernized and maybe also stretch to doing more creative things. One thing I feel very strongly about is old data. I would like to really see a system on OpenStreetMap editors that highlights data which is expired or which is old, so that we make sure that we keep more up to date and that starts meeting the challenge that Overture has given us to say your data can sometimes be quite old. So that's something I want to see happen in the next 5 years.
Yeah, so again, on the technical side, I would like for all the systems to be reliable, to be sustainable for the future. We're growing, our systems need to be growing and need to be stable for the future. And on the community side, we need to keep on growing in regions that are not represented so far. We are a global foundation, we are a global organization, we are a global project. We need to represent everybody in the globe. We need to have voices from all over the world. So hopefully we can manage to make that happen in the next 5 years. Yes.
Yeah, so also from the technical side, I would like to see that there are many existing errors in the map. So in the next 5 years, I would like to see there will be like at least 50% of the errors will be solved. And I would like to see to the OSMF or more members from the like regions where they are not members. So I would like to see more participant in the OSMF. That's it from my.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Let's just give a hand of applause to our board as they step out of the stage.